Hello, everybody. My name is Erik Teren Mullins, and today we're going to be checking out SmileFest 2025. I'm going to go over a bunch of the figures that they've been showing off here, and this is thanks to the amazing website of Ruru Berries. Thank you so much. It's an amazing website that seems to always just have the best photos, and they all come out in a perfectly timely manner. If you're curious about the website and you want to go check it out for yourself, be sure to check the link. I put it in the description below. With that aside, let's start off with Good Smile scale figures. I haven't had a chance to look at any of these yet. I kind of wait till the end of the convention, and, some of them get spoiled for me here and there, but for the most part, I have no idea what's coming, so I'm pretty excited. Quite a big fan of Good Smile. I always found that they're a real good middle-of-the-road, sometimes higher-end or lower-end figures that are just really well made. So, let's do this. Just looks so serene. Very pretty. I'd like to see this from all the angles, but I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot. Her veil is that kind of transparent whitish plastic, and I'm not usually a fan of this. I find it always kind of looks a little bit cheap, but when you have it in hand, it's not always the case. It depends on the level of quality that they put into that plastic, so... More Hatsumiku stuff. Who didn't see that coming? It's about as predictable as Azur Lane nowadays, and I guess Nikkei. Nikkei's really made their way up into that every single figure convention. There's like just an army of Nikkei things coming out. Oh, that's cute. The snowflakes and the hair is nice. Ooh, so regal. Especially that art style for the face. That's very specific. It almost makes me think of a little like Persona mixed with No Game, No Life? Ooh! Oh, I don't like the shoes. They look so wonky. I'm sure they did this on purpose. Maybe that's an actual shoe style of some sort. Maybe they're just placeholder pieces, but it looks like the shoe is actually massive and comes out along the back like that. I'm not a fan, especially since having these two figures together from Gridman is really cool, and they actually really look like the characters from the show. Maybe a little cute, more cutified than usual, but it's very pretty. It's just, I don't like the base or the way the shoes are done. I guess, it's to each their own. Oh, and here it is with like artwork in the back of it. The shoes look a little bit better here, but even then they look way over the top. Ooh, that's really cool. I love the art. This looks like Xenoblade. Very awesome. But in person, I find that the artwork doesn't, I feel like it didn't do a good job. Like, this has such style to it, and then coming in here, you lose a lot, especially in the colors. It might just be because the photo is not the best, but everything's darker and feels more, I guess, real here. I understand it's real, it's not an actual image, but I'm not digging it as much as I like the artwork. More Spice and Wolf Hollow stuff for those of you that are into that. Looks cute. The tail looks really well sculpted. I was definitely expecting to see some Freerin stuff, but I find Freerin so simplistic in its designs. It's cute. I just... meh. Yui from My Romantic Comedy Snafu. This is really nice. I actually love this. This looks really pretty. Ooh. That's pretty cool. Oh, no way! What does it say? Remaster project? Wow. Okay, this is freaking terrific. Like, oh my gosh. I've never had the time to watch Bakemonogatari, and I've always wanted to see it because it's subtitled, so it's rough for me while I'm drawing. I watch dub most of the time, but I watch subtitle whenever I get moments. This show, I love a lot of the art style, and this figure is really cool. I remember seeing this years ago. I'm curious to see how they'll... I mean, it looks good. There's a couple lines on the hair and everything where I'm like, if this is a remastered project, you should have put a bit more touch to it. Just looks like it looks like a reissue as opposed to a remaster to me. Good Smile Arts Shanghai. Here we go. It's cute. My worry with Good Smile Arts Shanghai is legit the fact that the one figure I got from them, they lied about their scale, and I paid a huge price for that. So I was burned by them pretty bad, and even though the figure was extremely well made, that bad taste kind of lingers. So we'll see. I have a couple of other things by Shanghai that I pre-ordered and I'm gonna give them a chance, but it does stress me out a little bit. That's cool. Love how dynamic the pose is. The base plate looks gorgeous. Well, this I'm absolutely gonna get 100%. Like all of us Dorothy fans, we're all thirsty for more Doro, so the second I started playing Nikke, this was the first Pilgrim that I got, and it was the craziest story, and I got her while I was in a hospital on the 24th of December. It was a horrible experience, and then I pulled this character, and I was like, what? This is so cool! So, a little moment of sunshine in a rather bleak, dark time of my life. Ooh, they're pumping out all sorts of Nikke stuff. So, Red Hood, this looks pretty cool. I like this. D is one of my favorite characters in the whole franchise, but I just want her in that regular gray outfit, the idle pose that she has when you have her in the game. That's all I want. Super simple. She's holding a body bag behind her. I want that body bag as well, the Dongtang style. I love it. This looks really pretty, but I don't know. I'm kind of holding out for that gray dress. That's really nice. Although I want her with the whole mecha suit. I'm just such a fan of Genoid and Robo Girls, so this is gorgeous. Those of you that love Cinderella, I think this is gonna be really pretty, especially if she's standing on a mirror. That will be wild. Oh my goodness. Cheshire from Azur Lane. This is so spicy. I love the base plate. That's really cool. Her little tail piece that flips out, the hat and everything. I'm not a huge fan of this gambling style, but I do think it's really awesome, and I do definitely appreciate the hard work that was put into here. So those of you that do like this, it's pretty cool. The cards are smaller and they slowly get bigger as the dice is small and gets bigger too. Like, the whole thing is very nice. Bremerton, more Azur Lane. This is cute. I'm just kind of curious about that bouquet. It looks like it pegs right in the back of her head, and the photographer did an excellent job at hiding it. I feel like in person this might not look as good as this photo. It needs to be there to have the whole in the air effect, but I think I would have had it in her hands and I would have changed up the whole concept personally. Like, this is just, nope, I don't like that head peg. This is kind of simple. I mean, more Azur Lane, the face, I like that thirsty look, but it's just too simple for me. But Azur Lane's been out for a long time, and they come out with all sorts of different epic costumes, especially when it comes to their bathing suits and their background designs and their base plates. How many of these crazy things can they come out with before they start to run out of ideas? Despite the simplicity, I do think it looks well rendered. The hair looks really good. Oh, what the what what the heck is this? Yep, this is hardcore. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, this is awesome. I love this. I wonder if the eyes on this are actually completely covered with something, because I don't know this character. I haven't played Azur Lane in a couple years. Very Cthulhu-esque. Just all around cool. Couple of images of what's to come. Blue Archive. This is cool. I'm not really a lolly person. The base plate and the shield looks freaking insane. That's cute. Photos. Oh, Evangelion. I still don't have a figure from this franchise. I'm so picky, and I love Eva so much that I think in my whole life there might have been 2 figures that I saw that I really liked, and I just never pulled the trigger on them, and now in the secondary market they've gone up so much in value that I'm like, that price, I could literally get like 2 figures, so whatever. But this looks pretty cool. This is nice too. I'm curious if the 2 base plates plug into one another. I don't think so. But it would have been nice if it did, or if it does, I guess we'll see. Couple of male figures. That's always epic for some of you that like to collect that. This is really cool. The double base that connects together. That's awesome. This character's design is so spicy, and I love the art style of the face. It's cute. Almost makes me think of like Disgaea. Forget the name of the artist. It eludes me at the moment, but very similar to that. This is really nice. More Miku. Yeah, this thing's a pole to hold this character up. For sure, this thing is leaning. Hyper body. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. No. Don't. They look awesome, and I love these 2 characters. It's just my problem with the hyper body thing is that I try not to get figures with articulation unless they're robots. And I know Nikkei is robots, but you don't genuinely see the seams. So, you know, like Transformer-style robots. Your classic robot girls. Art style is really cool for this one. That's a nice Hatsune Miku. I like seeing different unique art styles. It's fun. There's like a couple of them in these figures so far. Acrylic standee. I'm guessing this may be a placeholder for a future figure they'll make. More articulated figures. I'm kind of scrolling down them a little quickly. You can look at them. Oh, wow, this is freaking sweet. I haven't seen anything from this franchise in a long time. Scried. Long time. I remember the opening theme song of that show is really cool. Couple of mechs. Ooh, these are always really pretty. The Chitoserium franchise. I had 2 of them at one point, but I just don't have the time to build these things. On to the Nendoroids. I don't collect Nendoroids anymore. I got so into them years back, so I'm probably going to be going through pretty quickly here, but it's fun to see that the variety you get with Nendoroids is just freaking amazing. See, like, that's cool. So many Miku. Oh my goodness. I don't envy any of you Miku collectors out there. For real, like, y'all have it rough. Oh no! Of course they were gonna come out with something like this. I want like a lovely scale figure of Eve, and I want her to be associated to the Nikkei artwork because I love that Nikkei artwork. Her face is so cute. Yep. Nendoroid doll, here we go. More Nendoroids. What? Getting into the furry stuff? I feel like it's not their first time, though. This is so cool. What the heck? No, Eric, you already had enough. I actually have to start selling some because I have gotten too much when I was younger. Oh, this is hardcore. The variety, like, you just get everything. It's so awesome. And there's so many. And so many coming out. What the heck? Y'all Nendoroid collectors have it rough as heck, especially considering their price point. You just keep getting them over and over again. They're kind of small, so you can fill up so many and so many details. Pop-Up Parade. I'm probably going to be skimming through this one kind of quickly as well, just because I love scale figures. And I feel like Pop-Up Parade is the lower end of scale figures, and it's okay because this way, kind of like Nendoroids, allows you to get a whole bunch of characters from a whole bunch of different franchises you wouldn't normally expect, or maybe the company's not willing to really put in the money in making some super high-end quality version of X character, and in Pop-Up Parade you get all of them, or a lot of them, just to say the least, and I think that's amazing. My problem is that when I place a Pop-Up Parade next to, let's say, one of my high-quality altars, it doesn't look that good. So unless it's a character I'm dying to get, need to be like that perfect storm. There's a couple I had eyed, but I never ended up pulling the trigger. In any case, let's go through them. The whole time I'm talking, Serial Experiment Lane here. That's freaking awesome. That's not something you see very often. This is epic. What? Oh, no. So this is so cool because the fact that you can get like panty and stocking and their like Powerpuff Girl style artwork, which right off the bat I would love to have this, and then to get the actual 2 figures next to them, the face to panty here, it doesn't look perfect, and even the dresses, I don't know, I need to see it in person. If you want to just have the figures on your shelf, it's cool. Well, this is pretty interesting. I would have loved to see this Mind Flayer, but done in a cute anime Bishoujo fashion. That would have been amazing. Great Monster Girl, but this is really cool. Berserk, the regular and the large size. It's awesome. It's just, I've seen some scale berserks that are out of this world. Of course, this will have a much more manageable price point than most of the other berserk stuff you're gonna see. It's cool that they put the blood on the larger one. And now we're going into Maxfactory, and this one had been spoiled for me. I mean, it's Cinderella. Of course I was gonna get Cinderella. She looks freaking epic. I love the giant shield weaponry that she has around her. The costume design is way over the top, but it's pretty, and the character is at first narcissistic, and as the game goes on and you kind of play through it, she's such like a nice, kind-hearted sweetheart despite being so narcissistic. This game has really good writing. They make you love the most random of characters, and they really just, yeah, awesome. Nikkei's great storytelling. Man, I'm excited for this figure. Even the base plate's kind of cool with that honeycomb design. It's simple, but effective. Nice callback to the honeycomb design that we get inside her giant shield pieces. Whoa, that's pretty hardcore. I love this smug face right here. That's really, really good. This is really pretty. My goodness, I don't play Blue Archive, and I won't. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. That's a pretty nice mad dash. You have no choice but to put a peg like that, or like a holding piece on the knee. It's a shame, but the figure does look pretty good. I like the AstroTurf for the base, and it even has like a bit of movement to it, which kind of helps you feel like she's putting more weight, or that there's more movement into like the style of animation that you would have seen if they had drawn this. It's cool. This is well done. Clematia. I'm so extremely happy with the Atelier Ryza figure that I got many years ago that every time I see new figures for Ryza herself, I don't know, I don't care. I love the initial design. This looks really good. The figure's okay. I find that the face doesn't look round enough. It might just be because I don't have any like reference of her in front of me. I think I might be picturing her being rounder than she actually is. Ooh, Jinro. This is freaking cool. See, this is the sort of thing where when you have the joints and all the parts, it doesn't look so bad because it's super armored up. I'm curious if those eyes light up. If it better. For real, it should take a tiny little battery and those eyes should light up. That would be freaking epic. More figures. This is cute. Bunny suit planning. I already have a bunny suit planning figure, but I don't even display it. It's so weird. I don't know if I'm going to hold on to it or not. Gonna come with a bicycle. I actually really love the design to that bike. That looks nice. I always love these characters. I've seen so many of them. This is a perfect example of an articulated figure that I'm super interested in. But out of all the ones they've released so far, there's none that I was like, oh, that's the one. I've just been kind of waiting. Maybe this one will be. Purple is my favorite color, along with pinks. So we'll see how it looks when it's completed. But I like the design quite a bit. Now we're going into some Figmas. Like I've mentioned multiple times in the video, I don't really collect a lot of articulated figures unless they completely blow my mind. But I'm still going to go through them. Here we go. What? Delicious in Dungeon? This is pretty good. I love that he comes with the shield, the food. Very cute. Ooh, I love this. I love how you can put them... Oh my gosh. I was gonna go on about something, but then I saw this, and like, immediately my brain just stopped. I'm a huge Guyver fan, and I actually own a Guyver Unit 2 Figma from years ago, and specifically the one from the OAV, so the girl version, purple. Freaking love it. And Guyver Unit 3, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, that looks nice. And then Gigantic. Never, like, I don't hate him, I just don't love him. I'm kind of impartial. But this is still pretty cool, and he looks big. Figma drawings. I care little for the artwork. It's nice to see they'll be making them. Then we got Good Smile Company's Figmas. Good Smile Racing. That's a beautiful design. Good old Meek. Oh, what? Okay, this is cool. I love all the Figma Plus stuff. Back on track with more scale figures, Phat Company, let's go. I like this. I remember when I had seen this a little while ago, I thought it was really cool, but my same complaint as I made earlier about things that are transparent, especially when you put like a white mixture in with it so it's not completely transparent, I don't know. Her suit looks so good under this thing and so robot girly that I'm not particularly a fan. I don't mind the face mask piece. I think that's kind of cool, especially since this character clearly looks like some sort of medic. I would like maybe the whole coat piece to be removable, or at least the front part. It'd be cool if it was all like skin tight and then you end up having like giant baggy arms with the hoodie. I think that would be an awesome design. Like this, you're kind of masking most of the hard work that the sculptor put into this, as well as clearly really good paint applications. This just looks awesome. I don't really know what this is from. It's an illustration. Arms note, no clue, but the personality in the face looks good, and I think the base plate is nice. The amount of motion that we get with her feet walking around, the giant boots look cool. I love that they put work under the boots, which is something you don't get very often. Like, it really adds a nice style. The gun, this is really cool. A Got Milk ad. I feel like we've been getting more and more of them, but I'm not. I would like to like this more than I like than I do. like. She's just, look at her right hand, the little pinky, the way that it's up like that. I get what they were trying to do, add a little bit of personality to her hand. Like, it's just not natural. It doesn't look particularly correct, and yeah, I don't know. This figure is a hardcore pass for me. I like the hoodie for the cat girl. I think it's cute, but not a lolly person myself. This sword looks freaking sweet. This is really cool right here. I love the design. I love all the writing and all the advertising that we have on it. It's just her costume for me, boring and uncreative. I get it. It's like Bunny Suit Planning does these costumes that are all kind of similar to one another. If you have a whole bunch of them, they're all going to look good next to each other. But, you know, coming from somebody that really loves robot girls and mecha-style suits, this, I feel like there's a few elements that are okay, but I don't know. It's not for me. It's just that sword is... I would have loved if her whole design kind of matched up and looked nicer to go with that sword. This one is a little bit better. It kind of feels dragon-y. I mean, the whole thing with the sword she has here and everything feels more fantasy as opposed to science fiction. But even then, I guess it's like the whole bathing suit thing that she's wearing. I feel like they could have done better types of like decoupages or extra line work to them, or even in her skin, put some extra line work on it. The eyes themselves could have had something unique. That's going to be a spicy figure. We get a couple more pictures. They're super spicy. I like all three of them, but they're just illustrations, so I like a lot of illustrations. Okay, well, PA-15 is I'm actually going to get a figure of her already. It's pre-ordered. I'm getting the one where she's wearing the cow suit. It's gorgeous. Wow, this looks hardcore. Let's see if I can like slowly move it over so y'all can see it a bit better. There we go. My issue is that I don't know where I would place this. On the plus side, it doesn't look like she's too three-dimensional. It's not like you get like a giant square. It's very long. This could work very well on, you know, like floating shelves and things like that you might have at home. Fitting that into any kind of detail shelf is going to be difficult unless you have something that's much wider. The swords are cool. I can't imagine how expensive this thing is going to be too, and it takes up a lot of space. But I do think it looks gorgeous, and I love the design that we get all over her skin. It kind of looks like janky threaded fingers going all over her. Left eye looks really cool. For all you Muscle Mommy fans out there, this one is freaking epic. That's pretty cool. She's got a giant pole behind her holding up that hair, so I can only imagine it really blows out far behind her, and it's huge. This is really cool. So I pre-ordered the Kotobukiya one, and you know what's crazy? I pre-ordered it knowing this one was coming out, and even thinking I might get both because Rosalind is probably best girl for me in this game. I mean, Unicorn Overlord is it was just an awesome, super fun game, and I love this character, and I'm just a huge fan of Dark Elves in general. This is really pretty. I love that she comes with those tiny little fairies in the bubbles. I'm curious to see how well we can see them. It seems like, okay, zooming in here a bit. Yeah, you seem to see them pretty well. I'm curious if they're going to color them in, if they're going to maybe have some shading. It'd be nice if like the bubble was one color and the little fairy inside was like maybe like somewhat semi-transparent, and What would be epic is if it could glow in the dark. Are you kidding me? Like, give me little fairies that glow in the dark in these bubbles, and my brain will blow up. That's like too good, and I feel like there's no way. I'm like overhyping. But I like this. I like the emotion to this. Of course, she has a whole bunch of pegs holding her up all over the place here, and even that foot one is awful. I'm crossing my fingers that the base plate here is nice, because the base plate for the Kotobukiya one is simple but really effective, and base plates can make or break a really good figure. Atelier Yuma, never played it, but looks good. Oh, this is awesome. You know, I've never managed to get that far watching Gushing Over Magical Girls. I can't deny that the amount of personality that is in this is extremely amazing. I don't just mean for the face and the tongue and the eyes. I mean the feet, the stance, the curve of her body, the hair, the way that everything's blowing around, whip thing that she has, the bend, everything here is very well done. I'm like excited to see this colored in, but it's not something that I would ever get myself. Oh, that's cute. Nice Data Life. I always would have liked to get myself a Data Life figure. It's just there's so many, and I don't know. I just never got sold on any of them. There are so many pretty derby figures coming out. It's crazy. Maybe I should watch that anime, see what it's all about. More scale figures. Here is Freeing. I'm watching the remake to this show right now, and I love it. The animation quality is amazing, and that theme song is good. I really love it. The art style for that theme song is like out of this world impressive. Oh my gosh. This is going to be a 1-on-3. Well, right off the bat, I find the legs are kind of weird. Like, usually that's supposed to be white, I believe. It might be skin. You know what? I don't remember. I'm, like, blanking right now. But I don't like the face. I think the face is kind of weird. The mouth, the way it's done isn't, like... I'll need to see more zoomed-in pictures, but I always feel like the second anime figures start to go 1-on-4 and up. It's hard to get the face that resembles the show accurately. It's just sculpting at that size is definitely not easy. See, like, this is a great example. I am not a fan of the face at all to this D. This is the idol picture for her secret party cleaner costume in the game, and it's just that the forehead and even like the positioning of the eyes, the way that the cheek comes out a little bit. I mean, the body looks great, it's just the face just seems kind of off to me. And even the rose doesn't look like it's really fitting on her head like as nice as the artwork shows it to be. Yeah, the second you go a little bigger, I'm personally not a fan. You might be. It's not to knock on what you like. It's just that I start seeing all these little things, especially since most of my reviews I make are pretty in-depth. Like, I try to get in there, I use photos for reference of the artwork to all these little details. So when I start looking at figures, I try to pay attention to as many of them as possible. Of course, this is just a prototype. It's in grayscale. Maybe things will look a little different when it's in color. That's cute. This face actually looks really good. It's a 1-on-6. All right, never mind. That's a huge head. What the heck? But it might be associated to a specific type of art style. And speaking of art styles, this is an artist in particular that I'm not a huge fan of. The way they draw is very successful and very beautiful. It's just not my style. I'm more into that cute, round Atelier Ryza, or I guess like King Korra's art style from Azur Lane. She does a lot of artwork for Azur Lane, and that's what I love. Everything's kind of round, bubbly. This is like pointy and round, but it's kind of like thin, round, thin, round. It kind of, you know what? It makes me think a lot of One Piece's art style, but done, I guess, a little more polished. Same artist. Bunny suit planning. Yep. Just, I guess, like I said, it's just too simple. This is kind of cute. Idol Master. High School DxD. And if I were to get a Data Life figure, it would probably be this character, but I wouldn't really want her in a bunny suit. I'd probably want her with all like her mecha stuff going on. That's nice. 1-on-4, and you know, those eyes are really high up on that face. Okay, so this one I find it looks like her. This is pretty good. And not only that, the smug expression that they put on her face, like everything you see here really feels like her too. This one's pretty successfully done. Congratulations, those of you that love Ilia, you've got a nice bunny girl. 1-on-4 coming your way. This is super cool. I actually really like this. It doesn't say what the sizing of her is going to be, but this is me and my love for original stuff, right? This is just based off of an illustration. It's clearly robot girly. I love the whole design. Oh, and she comes with even like a sweet visor for the eyes. That's pretty nice. I'm excited to see more of this. Scale figures from Aniplex. This is amazing. This is really, really, really good. I'm extremely impressed at how well they managed to do or capture this Marin. Like, it looks awesome. It almost looks like the illustration. Very, very, very beautiful. They put in all the little details, obviously, and it's just, this is spot on. And I've seen a lot of Marin cosplaying as this character, so this is just really, really good. This is cool. Love that base. Very nice. Couple of bunny girls. Rascal does not dream of bunny girl in red. It's cute. Personally, I probably would have made it maybe more like Jessica Rabbit, you know, like add some shine and sparkles to that. Glue some rhinestones on that costume. That'd be great. Oh, who has the space? Am I right? You gotta really love Morgan Le Fay to be able to rock something like this. It's just, I'm sure it's gonna be beautiful, but this takes up a lot of space. Clenell. I like this. This is just cool. And this sweet monster girl, this is really nice. I love the hair quite a bit. Big fan of twin tails that are all braided like this. Cammy was my main in Street Fighter, so this is really fantastic. Love the horns. My one issue is that I have 2 Owari figures coming in already that I've pre-ordered throughout the next year. Do I get another one? And not only that, this one doesn't look 100% like her, whereas the other 2 are really spot on. But this is really pretty. This is cute. Neko Para has some great designs in it. I'm not the hugest fan of all of them, but whenever they don't go too overboard, the spiciness, I tend to think they look really cute, and I do think that this is pretty nice. I like the background quite a bit. Kodakawa. Oh, this is super adorable. Very, very cute indeed. I don't think she's articulated, but the way everything's attached in there, it kind of looks like it, so I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. These are all really nice. Oh, finally a 3D render to this Ryza. Well, the illustration was gorgeous, and this looks pretty good. But I feel like Ryza's kind of nearing the end of her life cycle. Her games came out so long ago, and they keep pumping out more figures of her. But at this point, most of us are on to the next game, the next thing, the next figures. So I just don't know what to say. It is really nice, though. It looks well sculpted. Scale figures by Solorain. And that first one, what? This looks freaking cool. What the heck? That's awesome. My goodness, look at that. That is pretty cool. This is alright. Not my style, not my speed, but the hammer looks freaking cool. This is interesting because you basically get a whole piece of someone's life here. That's really funny. Very well done. After all my dunking on bunny suit planning and their clothing designs, here Azurlane is putting like the bare minimum as well. But for some reason, I'm sure it's just gonna look phenomenal. This looks like she's wearing wetsuit and she's unzipping it. This is gonna be really a nice figure, I'm sure of it. I guess it's also the way and the shaping of the sculpt too of these overly curvy characters. Bunny Suit Planning seems so clacked on all their pieces to be like, yeah, that's what you want, right? Whereas as Elaine here, this feels much more natural, even though it's extremely not. It's hard to explain it. Those of you out there that are able to understand me right now, you get it, right? That's cute. Based off of an illustration, this is pretty good. I like the base plate. It really does look like it's inside of a gym. Very nice. My one worry would be the fact that, you know, these figures that are based off of illustrations, companies charge so much for them. They're just like, yeah, this is completely original. I don't know, like 30k yen, maybe 28k, and you're just like, why? You're not paying a license. I get that the illustrator and the company that worked on it put their efforts together, made it. It has a cost to it. Things like this need to be cheaper so more people buy them, so that more people are open to buying more in the future at a higher price point after the fact. That's how I see it. This is just an illustration, but I'm really looking forward to this. So I can't wait to see it. I mean, hopefully they'll literally be like this, 2 figures side by side, back to back. That'd be nice. Wing, here we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not hardcore at all. It looks like she's having a really hard time doing this dance maneuver, or like, I'm not gonna say anything else because otherwise this video will just get canceled. It'll just get removed from YouTube, but that's something right there. Spirit Tail. This is great. I love the designs in Guilty Gear so much, and this looks awesome. Oh, this is lovely. It looks like she's drooling and everything. Okay, hold on. I thought it was kind of cute at first, and the more I look at this, I'm like, whoa, this is some spicy stuff right here. Oh, Asuka. You're amazing. One of my favorite characters of all time. But I don't own a figure of you because nothing makes me happy. Hey, this is really pretty. Furyu. Oh man, and I like Furyu. I always feel like they make nice products. I find, and I'm saying this like that, kind of weird, but it's just because I feel like compared to the art that they're supposed to be referencing, it's never exactly on point, but it has its own charm, and I tend to really like it regardless. This is really cute. Wow, actually, this is gorgeous. The fact that they make her whole dress turn into the feathers. This is where the other one I thought was cute. This one is like conceptually beautiful. This is awesome. The red shoes, all of this. The design that they thought on this is really, really nice. She does look similar to the art style from the show. I'm really curious about this. Like, this is really pretty. Square Enix. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Wave. This is adorable. I like how she has, like, the guns tucked up in the back here. The base plates on these two are very pretty. Oh, I love the coloring that you get on this. And her base plate's really cute, too. Onimai, I'm now your sister. Well, I've never seen this, but just that name is like... Somebody shows up at your house and they see this figure and then they like ask you questions about it. I can only imagine what this anime is about, so it's kind of, you know, but the coloring's really nice on here. I really love it. I love the blue that we have inside the pink for the hair. Very beautiful. Oh my gosh. This is very hardcore. What the heck? This is cute. I like that. And of course I do, because it's based off of an illustration from Nitty 2D. This artist is pretty good at making the type of robot girls that I really like, especially the faces. Their faces are always like my favorite. But this is a little too over the top for me. And that completes our tour of the Smile Fest 2025. It was pretty cool. It was interesting. There's definitely like a couple figures there I'm pretty pumped about. Most of them, I would say, are ones I was already looking forward to, but now we got to see them in color or finally get a nice sculpt to it. As for all the illustrations, there weren't that many this year that really caught my eye and got me hyped to see what it's going to look like in 3D. There are a few, but not as much as I would say usual. Were there any that caught your eye that made you think, my goodness, I can't wait to get that? Or you're just there waiting for the pre-order to show up at any second now? Because I know that Cinderella, any second, she's going to be up on Ami Ami, and her price tag is going to have to make me take out a small loan for sure. And not just for that, I'd have to buy a house. I live in a tiny apartment because she looks big, and she's gonna take up so much space that I'm just my gosh, I try not to get figures that take up too much space. A lot of times when I do get them, I end up having to resell them afterwards to help pay for other figures that I review in the future, but also because I just don't have the space for them, even if I really, really like the character. So, I don't know, I'm gonna have to make an exception for Cinderella. I'm sure of it. I just know it. She's gonna bankrupt me in funds and in space. But aside from that, this was super fun, and I can't wait for the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!